Hey, so this video is actually inspired by something that came up in a comment. So again, thanks so much for your very insightful comments on this channel. I'm very impressed. This one was, and I'm gonna mess this name up, Dakuna Case. So thanks for your ongoing comments because I think they're great, as with all the interesting comments that come through. This one is actually, again, on ghosting because I think nowadays it's probably just that much more relevant, and it's something that from both sides, either how people may feel about us, whether they think that we're ghosting them, or this one is going to be the reverse. So what, for me personally, as an INTJ female, what I feel about the concept of someone potentially ghosting me. So let's be honest, I am older, so I have differing views on social media, maybe than some of the younger folks. So love to hear your comments on this. I personally don't really ascribe to anything to do with social media, obviously, other than YouTube. However, the ghosting thing is, no matter what, a society problem. Like, it's something that is used now as a tool that's pretty dark. So for myself personally, I find that it really, for me, the idea of someone ghosting me, there's a couple of thoughts that go into it. So I find that I kind of accept it in the way that if someone doesn't respond to me in a timely manner, that's probably tied to the fact that since I am very hesitant or get a little bit of anxiety about lots of texts and that type of thing and responding, I give a lot of benefit of the doubt for the beginning, and also take a lot of responsibility that if that tool of texting is something that is valued for the person, and I didn't get back to them in a time that they want, whether due to not wanting to be on the phone at all, or the fact that I just simply didn't see it, there is a certain expectation that that's their right to potentially be upset and use that as the launch point where, I mean, I apologize if that was something that really bothered them and they brought it up. But if it's something, so I guess it's really based on intent of the person that's trying to ghost me. A lot of times I don't notice, to be honest, because when it comes down to it, if they're a close relationship and there's a worry about being ghosted, that means that probably the relationship isn't a solid or strong one that has communication that's vital in person. So the next thing is, I know for myself that I am very blessed to have friends that are similar in how they get back to me. So they might take a long time to get back to me, or I definitely understand that maybe they're really busy and nothing is that important unless I scream it at them, but I'd be most likely giving them a call if something is really imperative that they get back to me. But as an INTJ female, as I get older, you really come to appreciate the fact that, for myself anyways, you're pretty self-reliant on a lot of the emotional management. So you're not placing a lot of your identity within someone else's expectations. So my friends and we never have necessarily a conversation, my close friends, about this type of thing because we all appreciate the fact that we all have lives outside of texting, and texting is more of a, for me personally, is more of a logistical thing than an actual relationship building thing. Then the other thing I was gonna mention about this is that I have been ghosted before, and it was very surprising, and it actually did really hurt. It came from someone who is pretty much the polar opposite of personality types of mine, but we had really come to depend on each other for critical things. And even though we didn't see each other very much, we definitely always had each other's backs. Especially that relationship really came together while I was single and she was single, and we needed each other. So that one was really difficult. And when that happened to me, I found that I was unsure. So I had followed up and checked with her, and I phoned her, and I noticed that I wasn't getting calls back, and I realized that potentially there was a bigger issue. We hadn't had a problem, but maybe that's the problem, is that maybe she needed more out of the relationship than I was giving her, and didn't want to go into working on that. And that's her right. But it was difficult, especially when you kind of feel like you have a bond that was outside the realm of, experiential friendships or like occupational friendships. But I'll end this one. This is pretty short, but I wanted to say what I find for myself, and I'd love to hear from other INTJs on this, is most of the time, if an experience like that happens to me, I definitely feel that it's mostly on me. I don't blame necessarily the other person, and I don't know if that is tied to maybe self-identification or worth thing, or if it's simply the processing mindset. That's something I haven't figured out for myself. So love to hear everyone's comments on that. But when it happens, it's usually I'll look at myself. I'm not going to place blame on the other individual because of the fact that I don't connect as much as other people potentially do. So I'll really look at it introspectively and see if there was something else. And also, I think because for myself anyways, as INTJ, we're very loyal. So once someone's come into our inner circle on that level, we will knock down the doors and check in and all those things to try and see if there's a line of communication that we can clarify or work through. But the other person is the other person. So if that is not available, then you have to respect that and take it for that that relationship is not going to be around, and appreciate the fact that you had that. So as always, in the comments, if there's any video requests, please put them in, because I love hearing from you on differing things that you'd be interested in having experientially covered. Other than that, hopefully I will be posting quite soon. Thanks so much.